Welcome to the Mixed Reception Podcast. I'm your host, Barrett, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a show for you. I'm going to introduce our guest. You know him, you love him. How Embarressing podcast. We got Molly Graham and Jeff Beaulieu.
Hello.
And we have a newcomer. We have Ed Phillips.
What's up?
He is Dumpster Dudes. He's part of Dumpster Dudes. You guys
He
are.
is Dumpster Dudes.
He is Dumpster Dudes.
Yeah.
Of the heart and soul.
You guys are Dumpster Dudes. Like, you guys are kind of like the hottest group around right now.
Yeah. Some might say that.
Some for sure. At least 3 guys say that.
Yeah, there's these 3 guys who are always saying.
Hey, aren't there 3 guys in Dumpster Dudes?
I think that's unrelated. I don't think
No,
that's,
the guys who are always talking about how good they are have like these big noses with glasses and a mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it couldn't be the Dumpster Dudes.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound
None
like
of them
us.
have glasses and mustache. Except for Dustin. Who does have glasses and mustache.
Ed, have you ever had a mustache?
No. I this is not related to the movie. I did try to grow a mustache during the pandemic and it looked so ugly.
But I like the facial hair you got going on right now. It's like, basically, it's the Wolverine. It's everything but the mustache.
Yeah, I think this is the sweet spot for me. I don't feel like I need the mustache.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so today we're doing
Sorry, that was weird. Just like, okay, awesome.
So today,
Cool story about your facial hair.
and back to me.
I know I'm great at transitions. But I'm working on it. All right, today we're doing a very special movie.
Yes.
It's called Mommie Dearest. Now, I'm gonna preface this by saying there's a reason why we're doing this movie. Okay, a couple weekends ago.
Do you want me and Ed to lay down the backstory?
Yeah, why don't you guys lay down the backstory?
Okay.
Yeah.
So a couple weekends ago, it was Barrett's birthday, Barrett, Ed, and Jeff's birthday party.
Yes.
Because they're all Aries kings. And me and Ed happened to wander inside because it was a little chilly outside. And we were trying to get the party to move indoors. And we were like, if we sit in here and we look like we're having fun, everyone will follow. Well, then, so we had, the TV was on to just like a random cable station.
Can I interrupt you for a minute?
Yes.
I'm gonna let you finish, but so we have like a big ass antenna on our house.
Yes.
Like on our roof.
Massive.
And Molly hates this, but I always like to. I'm 80 at heart, even though I'm 32.
True.
And I like to like watch the news in the morning. But on Sundays, the day of my birthday, it's like you watch the news. It ends at like 7, and then it's like
What am I gonna do for the rest of my birthday?
No, it's like Christian broadcast. It's like it's like Joel Osteen. And so I was just like, okay, I gotta get it to any station that's not that. So I just turned it on to some random station and left the TV on like the whole day. So that's like kind of why it was like on some random station.
It was on a random station, transmitting through our giant old school antenna we have on the roof that came with the house, and we will not get rid of it. She's part of our family. But we wander in and we just see like clips, and it keeps going in and out. But we just see clips of like, it all started with a woman chopping down her entire rose garden and taking an axe to a tree. And me and Ed were like, oh, fuck, we're in.
Whatever this is, I need more.
Yes.
And I walked in because we were outside, and like I was like, where the fuck is like Molly and Ed? And so I like walked inside, and you guys were like glued to the TV.
Oh yeah.
And I think when I walked in, it was the moment where Faye Dunaway is like strangling her fucking daughter on like the carpet.
Yeah, no, we couldn't like
I was like, what the fuck is this?
bits and pieces were coming in, and we could not figure out what it was for the longest time. And we were trying to figure out, like, we were like, we'll just watch it long enough till we find like something we can Google, but there was like nothing Googleable. It was all very
Maybe
weird.
freaking out and chopping up her roses and trees.
Also, I love that adjective, Googleable.
Until the wire hanger scene, and then we were able to Google that, and it came right up.
So we found out it was Mommie Dearest, which I don't know. Had you guys heard about this movie before?
No.
Yes.
Okay, because I heard about it like I love the 80s. Like, do you remember like VH1's like they did I love the 70s, 80s, 90s. They did I love
And
the
today?
They did I love the new millennium, and they got up to 2007 and they never finished it. So I'm waiting for them to finish it.
What I don't understand is like they do the 80s, 90s, and today thing. Like they still say that, and today is not.
Yeah. It's
2
been 20.
decades.
It's been 20 years.
Yeah.
But I want them to do VH1. I love the 10.
But
anyway.
I always thought so. Those shows on VH1, like the I Love Does and the Girl Code and Guy Code, that might have been MTV, but it's the same concept where they just have like commentary. I always thought I would be really good at those kind of shows because I knew a lot about pop culture and I have a lot to say all the time.
So here's the thing. Speaking of pop culture, I think a good measurement of like how relevant something is to pop culture is if it was on one of those shows. And like Mommie Dearest, like, I mean, I hadn't seen the movie, but like I knew about these hangers, these wire hangers. Like I heard about that on I Love the 80s. So like it was a movie that was always like kind of in my mind and I always wanted to watch.
It's also Joan Crawford and like Mommie Dearest culture is very big in like the drag community. Like there's
that's where I
there's
knew
a
Jeff
lot
was
of,
telling
like,
me about that
RuPaul.
outside when we were smoking.
They redo like there's a lot of
Yeah, they dress up like
Joan Crawford,
Crawford
all
a
the
lot.
time. Yeah. With the robe and the headband and the white face, like that is
If you just type
that's
in,
a big drag look.
like Mommie Dearest, like drag, and you'll just see like every
million.
drag queen has at some point dressed up, and it's a classic for the white face. It's easy to do. Too.
Yeah.
You just paint your face white
With the high eyebrows.
the high eyebrows,
Yeah.
and then like the head sweatband thing, and just put a wire hanger in your hand, and you're good.
Yeah.
Before we like get into the discussion, because I feel like, I mean, if you didn't watch I Love the 80s, you probably wouldn't know. If you're our age, you probably wouldn't know what this movie is.
See, that's not true.
You think so?
I think this movie is one of those movies that has kind of a cult following.
Well, it does. I mean, that's why we're talking about it. But I feel like your average Joe may not know about it. But I'll explain real quick what the plot is. So Joan Crawford, she was like this huge actress in the 30s and 40s.
Based on a true story.
It is. So basically, her adoptive daughter, Christina
Crawford.
Christina Crawford, after she died, like a year after she died, she wrote this book, which is kind of like a tell-all about how like abusive she was to her.
How crazy.
And it was like a huge bestseller. So this came out in 81. So basically this is an adaptation of that book. So that's kind of what it's about.
I think it might have been written into a play before this movie also.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I could see that. I could see this being a stage play.
But yeah, before we get into it, like the reason why we're doing this is like, it does have a bit of a cult following, and we'll get into it, but like it's infamous because of Faye Dunaway's like kind of over the top performance.
Yeah.
And
fucking spot on performance.
It's another thing. Is it over the top, or was that really how she is?
That's why I think it's a good mixed reception movie choice, because it's like, well, we'll get into it, but like, that's kind of what it's famous for. It's kind of like known as this like so bad it's good movie, but like as we're gonna attempt to answer on this episode, I mean, is it? So it might just be good. I don't know. Let's just do a round robin though. Like let's start, Ed. Like, I don't know, general thoughts.
Okay, so like just kind of like a general breakdown of like how I felt about
Just
the movie.
what you think about the movie?
Honestly, I kind of like it.
You kind of like
I kind of like it. I know that it like there's definitely some overacted bits, but I think I would probably give it like a 3.5, maybe a 4 out of 5.
Dude, I love this
like,
guy. He's already doing ratings. we do ratings at the end, but I love it. I love it though. You would be like 3 out of 5 for you.
Yeah.
Ed, is this your first mixed reception episode?
No, I had your boy Brett on. We did Ocean's 12.
Okay.
Yeah, this podcast.
Ocean's 12. It's a movie.
I was gonna say, me and Jeff have been on this podcast a million times, and I will say that you're probably a better candidate for the podcast than either of us, because me and Jeff end up just screaming over Barrett and being like,
I was gonna say, Ed,
we don't care.
I was gonna warn you, before we hit it start. I meant to warn you, like, if Molly interrupts you, it's nothing personal. It's just how she rolls.
So I've done how embarrassing.
Ed's done our podcast, and Ed also teaches with me, so he's used to being talked over.
So you actually kind of like the movie?
Yeah, I honestly like we were talking about it as the movie was going on. Like they had some really great shots, some very poignant dialogue. Honestly, I liked it. I could watch it again.
You would watch it again? Wow. Okay. Jeff.
I enjoyed it overall too. I think it was a little too long.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be an hour and a half. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of like, oh fuck, it's 2.5.
I feel like a lot of the most intense shit happens like right in the middle of the
Yeah,
movie too. So it kind of like is a build up, and then like the second half of the movie was a little slow.
Yeah.
But like still constant like physical abuse and mental abuse and all the fun things about the movie. But yeah, I thought the cinematography was really good. The framing of some shots were excellent. Acting was pretty good, and yeah, I thought it was pretty entertaining. I'd give it a good job.
A pat on the back.
This movie, if it was free, sorry, I'm just gonna go right into my opinions.
Yeah.
This movie, I think if it was free on a streaming service, we did have to pay $3 for this.
I had to pay $3 for it.
Worth it.
$3.99.
No, it was actually $2.99.
Worth it. But if this was free on a streaming service, I can totally see me like just putting this on in the background as like my like hungover comfort movie. Like I loved it. It's a little, like Jeff said, it gets very slow in the second half, but that's perfect for a hungover comfort movie because you're asleep by the second half. Like I would probably put this on, coast into dreamland around the second choke out. And yeah, I loved Faye Dunaway's acting. I thought it was so over the top, but it was perfect for the character. And it was really cool. Like in improv, there's like the crazy man, straight man thing. I felt like Faye Dunaway was the crazy man and everyone else was kind of grounding it around her because everyone else was very straight man. So yeah, I very much enjoyed my experience watching this film.
Had you guys seen anything like else Faye Dunaway has done?
No.
No.
What else has she done?
She actually won an Oscar for Network. I've never seen that movie. I couldn't tell you what it's about. I've just never seen it.
Yeah.
But she was in Chinatown with not Nicholas Cage, Jack Nicholson. That's like a famous movie. She was in Bonnie and Clyde. She was like huge in like.
I was gonna say she looks really familiar.
Yeah. Well, she's like one of the all-time like hotties, like gorgeous woman.
Cool.
But this movie, okay, I think from what I was reading, I was let down just based off like the hype, and I've been spoiled because the last episode I did was with Matt Cole when we did Vampire's Kiss with Nicolas Cage, and that's Nicolas Cage is just up to like 20, like the entire movie, just acting like an insane person. So I don't know, like from what I was reading, it just seemed like this was like kind of like oh my god, she's so crazy and over the top, and like I thought it was gonna be like one of those movies, just like super melodramatic and just ridiculous.
Oh, you know what I know Faye Dunaway from?
What?
And this is so random. In 2009, she was in an episode of Grey's Anatomy, like much older.
Yikes.
But I recognize the older her. She looks good as
so
shit.
So a lot of parallels. We were kind of jumping ahead, but a lot of parallels, like how both of their careers went. Joan Crawford ended up being on a soap opera later in her career, which we'll talk about. And then Faye Dunaway was on a cheesy soap opera later.
Grey's Anatomy is not a soap opera.
It's not.
It's a TV drama.
Isn't that a soap opera?
We all know it's different.
I don't really know what makes the difference.
I guess
I feel like I know it when I see it.
I will say this. I guess Grey's Anatomy is like a little bit higher quality than like a daytime soap. I'll give you that.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
I mean, Faye Dunaway looks good.
She's hot. I'm telling you.
This is her in 2006. I'm showing a picture. She's a fucking fox.
Oh, I was not. You guys laugh, but I was not exaggerating. Like she's one of the all-time like like she's one of the most beautiful women like ever.
Damn.
In
All
Hollywood.
right.
I don't know. I was disappointed based off the hype. I was led to believe this is gonna be a so bad it's good movie, and I was disappointed. I actually like this movie's kind of frustrating because it's like there's like extreme highs and extreme lows. Like I don't know. Like there's points in this movie I was kind of with you, Ed. I was like, I don't know. This is like not that bad. It's actually okay. Like Faye Dunaway's like not that bad in this. But then there's moments like which we'll kind of get into where like, oh my god, like this is extreme, like overacting.
Yeah.
So it's just like kind of like
I don't know if it was overacting or if it was her portraying someone
Yeah,
who's like losing their mind.
I think it was that this person, I think Joan Crawford was probably larger than life and like batshit insane and probably blurred the lines between her acting and her.
I don't know. Don't fuck with me, fellas. Like okay, like there's some moments where I'm like okay.
I think it was a classic Hollywood diva persona.
I think that I actually don't think so. Like this kind of like hurt her career. Like
really,
she thought she was gonna win an Oscar for this. Like we were actually talking about this, Jeff, before we started. Like, oh, this like seems like kind of an Oscar movie,
right? Yeah.
And like I think like Faye Dunaway was like, okay, this is like I'm gonna get my second Academy Award for this.
Yeah.
And I think there was like a lot of hype for this, and I think like the critics like. There's kind of been a little bit of a reassessment since it came out, but like most of the reviews at the time were like negative, like
weird.
Like everybody was signaling out her and how over the top and melodramatic this movie was. And
interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
They didn't like the kid getting hit with a coat hanger.
Maybe.
I love that.
High point of a movie.
I got off on that.
I thought she was, for the most part, I didn't think she did a bad job, but I think there was moments that just like, okay, like, I think there was moments, like the hanger scene, which we'll get into, like, where it's just like, I don't think the director knew how to like rein her in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think quality, like the performances wise, like I don't know, just kind of all over the right.
I don't know. I disagree. I think in that hanger scene, she shouldn't have been reined in. That was fucking perfect because she's losing her fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like, look at this crap.
I don't know if like it. How can you say someone's acting over the top when their job is to hit a child with a coat hanger right screaming at them?
Yeah, it's like you could have reeled it in a little.
Yeah, like no, you're beating a child with a coat hanger while screaming about coat hangers and how.
Well, we were talking about this. Like, there's that scene where we were like kind of laughing. Like, she looked like Jim Carrey.
Oh,
like facial expressions and like I think that scene at the end, like before she strangles her tire.
I think that's just Joan Crawford. I think she probably did a really good portrayal, and I
agree.
I think they went with that path.
Yeah, they kind of like all through the movie, they kind of draw those parallels of like nobody really knows when Joan is being genuine or when she's acting.
Right.
So it's
that's
like
a good point, actually.
I think that just kind of was her personality. Like no one really knew
what was real.
Yeah.
And I feel like she did this thing, and it was like very subtle, but the actress did this thing where like anytime there was something that would like slightly piss her off, or like she like wanted to react one way, but like then did her fake like acting react, she would always like get this look, and her like lips would kind of move like she was going through like what facial like emotion she was gonna choose. And it was always kind of like a little like twitch and a pause like before she would like anytime something like offended her at all. I thought I don't know, I think it's a really good performance now. Like the more and more I analyze it.
Yeah, because when you kind of like then they do a good job of like showing those moments where she is like deliberately acting. And I think they do that so you can draw those parallels to be like, oh, like those are her mannerisms when she's acting.
Right.
And that's how you can see when she's like sliding into that in her everyday life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, I mean, those are good points. I'm gonna, I don't know. I'm on the side of like, I don't think it's as bad as the critics said it was at the time.
No, not at all.
I think it's just kind of an uneven performance. Like most of the movie, I was like, okay, not bad, but there was just like some moments where I was like, okay, like, yeah, you're kind of dialing up a little bit. You're going like full Al Pacino, like, give me all you got, give me all you got, like, dial it back. So I don't know. This movie was like, it was kind of weird. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't hate the movie. I I don't know. At the end of the movie, I was just like, okay, like I didn't really know what to think of.
There wasn't much of a plot. The whole
There
thing was
wasn't
just
like
the plot was her being a horrible mom and like her life and
Yeah.
her failing career. There wasn't like
Yeah,
a plot.
I think for movies like this, where it's like almost like a slice of life
Yeah.
movie, it's got to be shorter.
It's gotta be shorter.
I agree with that.
Too long for a slice of life.
Right.
Too
It was
big of a slice.
It's like 2.5 hours, was it? It was close to that.
I think it was 2.
It was 2, but we had to pause it.
Oh, yeah,
because we
yeah,
had to pee and stuff.
But even like 30 minutes in, I was like, holy shit, fucking 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Like I feel like so much has already happened. Like I thought we were like winding to the end of the movie by that point.
yeah, I think like the first like tea break that we had, it was like, all right, oh god, we're
And
only
it was like,
40
holy
minutes in.
shit, what?
I
Okay,
was almost done.
I got a crazy comparison. You guys are gonna think I'm fucking stupid. You know what it reminded me of? Just bear with me. I am a little drunk. Kind of reminded me of like There Will Be Blood. Hear me out. Because like in that movie, the main character, it's like he's driven. He wants to be the best. He wants to get all the oil. And I think Joan Crawford is like, okay, like I have to keep up like my stardom. I want to be like this.
Yeah, she wants to be the biggest star
I want to
forever.
be the biggest. I want to keep it. Like there's that scene where he's like, okay, like you're getting old, like and
she freaks out.
yeah,
Calls him a dirty lawyer.
and then wait, and in a sense, she's like, how he uses the kid in that movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen that movie.
Mm-hmm.
He adopts that kid. Like she adopts these kids, and he's kind of using him like when he goes around to town, and he like kind of wants to make the town think like, oh, I'm a family man. And there's stuff like that in this movie where it's like, okay, like they do that like radio thing with like, oh, look how great of a mother I am, and they do the pictures and the glitz and the glamour, and like, oh, we're gonna take pictures of my kids and like the magazines and stuff like.
The
She
daughter's
wants to
birthday
kinda-
party was
She
like
wants
a
to keep
whole-
up this appearance and relate to people and keep up her, her movie stardom. I kind of got some like.
It kind of has similar vibes too, because of it being like parts of the movie are kind of like slower, and you're just like watching it happen, and then all of a sudden like huge scenes happen.
Yeah, like I guess if you watch There Will Be Blood, I guess the equivalent of like I've abandoned my child is when he's like, "Don't fuck with me, sonny." So yeah, you kind of even have like that scene, and at the end of the,
I think I like Mommie Dearest more. I didn't care for that movie though.
And at the
There
end
Will
of,
Be Blood. Yeah, it took me so long to watch that.
I think
movie.
that's
3
the best.
sessions.
I think that's the best
I
movie.
kept having to watch.
That's
it.
the best movie of the 2000s, in my opinion. But that's another podcast.
That's crazy.
That's fucking insane.
But
dude.
at the end of that movie,
Without a Paddle came out. Yeah.
but at the end of that movie,
Have you
once
seen 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah, dude. That's the one where there's a stripper on a pole, but it's a dude.
Fucking
Magic Mike?
Yeah.
Bruce Bigelow, male gigolo.
Wait, did you say Bruce Bigelow?
Yeah, what's his name?
Bruce. Wait, no. What the fuck is that movie called?
Deuce Bigelow.
Deuce Bigelow. Bruce Bigelow.
I mean,
Can we write
Molly,
this sketch?
Molly's fucked up name sounded more like a real name.
Bruce Bigelow. Oh, sorry, I said Bruce Bigelow.
Excuse me, my name is not Spruce. Deuce.
Spruce.
God.
But at the end of There Will Be Blood, it's like once his kid wants to go off and do his own thing.
Oh God, we're still in There Will Be Blood.
Well,
Are
I'm
you
making a
kidding
comparison
me?
here. Once he kind of goes off and wants to start his own oil business, it's like, okay, well, like you've been you've done your usefulness, like you're not useful to me anymore. And that was kind of like at the end where she like renounced him in the will. So I don't know, to me this was just like a lesser There Will Be Blood, just like not as good.
I didn't see that. I can see those parallels. Yeah.
But it was not as bad as the critics were saying it. Like, oh my god, like this, are you guys familiar with like the Razzies?
Yeah.
Like this got nominated for 9 Razzies.
Whoa.
I have the list right here. It's ridiculous. Like, okay,
Razzies are mean.
they are
Yeah.
mean. They're kind of bullshit. They
I
get
don't
a lot
like
of hate.
Razzies.
Worst picture, won.
I don't agree
Worst
with that.
director, nominated, did not win. Worst actress, Faye Dunaway. The guy at the beginning who gets her the kids.
Yeah, dirty lawyer.
the Dirty Lawyer. He won for like worst supporting actor. The daughter won for worst supporting actress.
Oh my god,
the
that's
maid,
so mean.
The maid, I guess, like the little helper lady.
Fuck the Razzies. I think they're so fucked up and mean.
Who's in charge of these? Like a bunch of fucking idiots in like their basement, you know?
It worst screenplay won. Guess 1990 they did like a 10-year anniversary. This one like worst of the decade. Of the 80s, which is ridiculous. There's way more. There are worse movies.
True.
There are worse movies like in the 80s, like Maccabee. That's the first one that. Well, I want to do it on this one.
I love Maccabee.
But
when that kid falls into like down the biggest hill on his wheelchair, just fucking
that's the
drowns
only.
in the lake.
That's the only scene I know because of the Paul Rudd bit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He did it recently again.
Nice.
Like Conan O'Brien was like he was doing a podcast and then like Paul Rudd was like, yeah, I started this like thing, like this charity thing, and like here's a video, here's a clip of it, and he played the Maccabee.
That's so funny.
But yeah, I mean, I just didn't think this. It's not a great movie, but like, I don't think it deserves a reputation it got.
No, I don't really.
I don't even really think. I don't think it's like. I don't think this. And this is where I got disappointed just because of my expectations. I don't think it is like a so bad it's good movie. I think it's like I don't know. It's like a decent. It's not great. I don't think it's a great movie, but I think it's like an okay movie.
Yeah.
Why didn't everyone freak out about whoever was in There Will Be Blood about his overacting?
I don't know. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like.
Oh, because everyone is on Daniel Day-Lewis's cock. I have a roommate, and friend of the household, friend of the pods. My old roommate from college, Dylan, is obsessed with Daniel Day-Lewis, and that's why I saw There Will Be Blood. Like he went through a huge Daniel Day-Lewis phase, and he like watched the movie with me, kept like telling me like the meaning behind every scene, and by the end of it, I was like, "Fuck Daniel Day-Lewis, he's trash, and I'm a better actress than them all."
I think that's a better performance, personally.
Okay, whatever.
I don't know. I
can't believe we're still talking about There Will Be Blood. This is not what the podcast is about.
Should we just review? I mean, we've all seen it. Should we just do that now
Does
instead?
anyone need a beer?
I'm good, thanks.
Oh, and now this time when you come back with the beer, make sure you crack it in front of the microphone better. All right.
I'll crack my ass in front of the microphone.
I got some reviews at a time.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
I'm gonna read some reviews at a time. Tell me what you think. Okay. The famous Roger Ebert. He gave it a 1 out of 4.
Whoa!
What has he done in his life?
Well, he's the most famous.
That was better.
That was actually really great.
That was a great one.
He's famous for what?
He's the most famous. He was the 2 thumbs up guy.
Oh, so he can fucking critique shit?
Well, he's a movie critic.
Can we just get to what he said? Because this is going to be a 5-hour episode at this rate.
Oh, yeah. Molly gets very mad.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing.
It's actually for the best that I'm not, because usually I sit there and I think my big problem is that I face the clock on our stove, and now I'm not facing the clock, so I'm
But
kind of
you're still rushing me.
sorry.
Okay. Quote, I can't imagine who would want to subject themselves to this movie, calling it unremittingly depressing, not to any purpose of drama or entertainment, but just to depress. It left me feeling creepy. They should have put that on the DVD box. Like,
It left you feeling
It
away.
left me feeling creepy. Roger Ebert.
That honestly seems like the goal of a movie is to make you feel something intensely.
Is that what art is supposed to do?
Yeah, like I feel like if you left the movie and you felt a seriously strong emotion that the events of the movie were conveying to you, that's not a bad movie.
Right.
I don't see where that one is coming from.
Right. It seems like a good review, but then he was like, "Oh, I want to. This is my #1 movie," and they're like, "No, that's not how the star system works."
Part of me wonders if like this movie was just like ahead of its time, maybe.
I think you're onto something, actually. I think it
Yeah.
was misunderstood.
Like,
Everybody, I know you hate me talking about There Will Be Blood, but it's like well, no, it's like kind of the same movie, but like everybody loved that movie, and this like kind of follows the same beats.
Just call this movie There Will Be Mommy.
There Will Be Mommie Dearest. There will be blood, mommy.
It does remind me, like, I do think it's ahead of its time, much like one of my favorite series, My So-Called Life, I think was ahead of its time. Much like Freaks and Geeks, I think was ahead of its time.
Yes.
That is a show that would crush now.
Right. Kid Nation.
Ahead of its time. So there's a lot of examples of this, Barrett. Not just There Will Be Blood.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be There Will Be Blood. There's a lot of.
What I just said.
Yep. Good point. I agree with you.
Thank you.
All right.
I now pronounce you.
Why is it such a good line when he says, "I'll drink your milkshake"? I don't get it.
That seems awesome. I fucking love it.
Get up.
That movie's just like more memorable to me. I don't think that's a bad. I don't think that analogy is as bad as you think it is.
I do love milkshakes.
Same.
So I would drink yours if I had a long straw.
They should have
I
had.
don't know the last time I've had a milkshake because I don't consider like the milkshakes at Cookout to be milkshakes.
What?
I mean,
I'm actually.
You gotta use a spoon for it.
Jeff,
It's not a milkshake.
It's a cup of ice cream.
It's a cup of ice cream.
I'm so with you. I do not like their milkshakes.
Oh,
They're not
I didn't say I love them,
Yeah,
but
I like
it's a thing of ice cream. It's not a milkshake.
Okay. We can agree that it's ice cream. It's not fucking a milkshake.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Milkshake, you
Alright.
should be able to drink through the straw pretty easily.
They should also just give you bigger straws like any other milkshake place would do.
Yeah, but I don't think you can drink that through a straw, anyways.
If this movie was a milkshake, which one would it be?
Oh, shut up.
It would be a rare steak.
Oh my god.
I think it would be like
We'll talk about that in unintentional comedic moments. Okay, I got a funny. This is my favorite review. Variety. They gave it like a 2 out of 4. This is Faye Dunaway as Joan Crawford, and the results are screen history. Dunaway does not chew scenery. Dunaway starts neatly at each corner of the set in each and every scene and swallows it whole, co-stars and all. That's a just awesome review.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
She does chew the scenery.
Chew the scenery. Never heard that term before.
You never heard
what
chew
does that
scenery?
mean?
It's kind of like going over the top. She is over the top in this. I just don't think it's like to comedic levels, like as everyone is like saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
I disagree.
There's a couple of moments where I did kind of chuckle, but it wasn't as much as I thought I was going to.
I
You know
think
what I mean?
Faye Dunaway is over the top because I think Joan Crawford was over the top. Like, I think she was just playing the character.
Yeah, I would.
I
agree
do.
with that.
Like, I just
It
think
doesn't
she was
mean it
playing
can't be
the character.
funny though. There was a couple of moments I did laugh, like the boardroom
for
scene.
sure.
I
Yeah.
laughed.
Sure, but I also
There's so many scenes where she's slapping people. Like I laughed. Like that was funny.
But also back to There Will Be Blood.
Hell yeah.
Was anyone laughing at Daniel Day-Lewis's overacting?
I did laugh when he beat the shit out of Paul Dano. I actually killed him with a bowling pin. That was kind of awesome.
Spoily.
If anyone hasn't seen There Will Be Blood at this point,
I'm just saying, a woman plays an over-the-top character and she's over-dramatic and everyone laughs. A man plays an over-the-top character
It's a
and everyone
serious
says
film.
he is the best
He's
actor
a
of our
god.
time.
He played in that
Fucking
movie
over
that
it.
was very boring for 90 minutes and then had a fight at the end.
Yeah, I hate men. Anyway,
Yikes.
what's next?
I'm sorry.
Are we ready for my trivia?
This movie at least had like good shit happen the whole time.
Well,
Yeah.
there's
I
things
have
happening.
I have one last review. It was 100 out of 100.
oh wow,
A 4 out of 4. Slant Magazine. Faye Dunaway portrays Joan Crawford in a likeness so chilling, it's almost unnatural. I really like Faye Dunaway.
She was chilling. She did crazy eyes. Like her
So-
fucking facial expressions were awesome.
We were
Yeah.
gonna talk about this, Jeff. We were talking about this outside. Is this like? I don't know. Is this like more of a horror movie?
It is kind of a
Kinda.
horror movie.
There's parts of this where I'm like, okay, like this is like kind of a horror movie.
Yeah, no, I think this would honestly, this similar thing of like a mother who's crazy has been put into many horror movies.
Right.
Like I think that this movie in a lot of ways would have done well as like a over the top like thriller or something like that.
Yeah.
when it's hopefully one of you guys paid attention because I think I maybe blanked out on the score. But when there's like intense moments happening, do they drop the music out?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so because I was like, I really like that because it makes it everything like way more intense.
Yeah.
More tense. And yeah, our TV. So one thing I will point out for the mixed reception listeners is our TV has a malfunction where when it's a quiet scene, the sound cuts out completely, but it doesn't cut out any sound like of like, you know what I mean? It just like falls quiet when there's no sound. It's hard to explain, but
it doesn't have that like room tone in the background.
Yeah.
It goes into complete silence.
Yeah,
Instead of having
so
room tone.
all of the most intense scenes, like they don't have any score behind it, which I thought was a really cool choice.
All right. Did you make that transition? All right. Okay, I got some fun trivia. Faye Dunaway mentions in her autobiography that she screamed herself hoarse during the filming for the notorious wire hanger tantrum scene in the movie. She called Frank Sinatra for help and he gave her pointers on how to get her voice back into shape.
I mean, that checks out. She was fucking
She went all out for that.
Yeah.
Now, did you laugh at that scene?
I loved it. It was fucking crazy.
I think
because that's a big scene, and that was like, okay, I'm going into this. I'm like, everyone says this is like an unintentional comedy. I didn't really laugh.
I didn't laugh. I felt so much like I was in awe for sure.
Yeah.
But I thought, yeah, she did a great job of like portraying a woman who is losing her fucking mind. I mean, at the beginning of the movie, they show her before she even has the kids, like scrubbing. So it's like clear that she has like some severe like OCD tendencies, something like that. And it's all just getting projected onto her kids. And I didn't laugh. I thought it was intense as shit, but in the best way.
I had some nervous chuckles.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like awkwardness more than like, this is funny.
I was gonna say before it escalated, like when she's in the closet and she's just like looking through the clothes, like that was kind of like weird to the point where I was like,
Yeah.
But like as soon as she gets on the wire hanger thing, it's like, oh shit. Oh shit, what's about to happen? Like,
yeah.
Let me ask you this. Because we kind of don't, because a lot's been said of like Joan Crawford's like how she grew up. I mean, supposedly like her parents were kind of abusive towards her. Do you think if any of that was in the movie, like do you like it's kind of like a mystery, like why is she acting like this, or would you have liked a little bit more backstory on her character and maybe give her a little bit more insight on like why she is the way she is, or do we like how it was like portrayed?
I feel like the movie's told from the point of view of her daughter.
Yeah, and
more
the
than
daughter.
anything else,
The daughter wasn't there for her childhood.
Right.
So.
So I think that's why it's like, it's all about her daughter's relationship with her mom.
And
so
I think
the movie goes from the daughter's birth to the mom's death.
yeah, I agree with that. I think it's definitely more of a Christina story than it is a Joan story.
Right.
So I don't think I would have liked seeing Joan's backstory.
I actually kind of agree. Yeah, it is from her point of view.
Maybe that's why things get like a little more over the top too, is because imagine being a 5-year-old when your mom's freaking out like that. Everything always seems like so much bigger and scarier.
I would assume that she was involved like, in some capacity, like directorially.
The daughter.
Yeah.
So I looked into that. Like she actually wrote a screenplay for the movie, and they like rejected it. I don't think she had like a lot of input.
Oh,
in the
wow.
movie. Yeah, and I don't think the daughter was actually happy with the final product.
Oh wow.
So I think there might have been, as with anything, probably some liberties.
I kind of want to read this book now.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do too. It was like a big like deal when it came out, and like a lot of celebrities that were friends with Joan Crawford said it was all bullshit.
Yeah.
But some people like actually like came to like the daughter's defense, and they were like, "Oh no, like I did kind of see some stuff. Like no, like it was like a big deal when this came out. Like I think there was a lot of hype for this movie, and I don't know, like maybe it just didn't meet the critics.
Yeah, I think
expectations.
there's some crazy shit about Joan Crawford. And Barrett, are we in trivia part of podcast?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have trivia,
Because
please.
I have some stuff.
Break it down.
And there is, honestly, I wish I had prepared even more for this because there is so much to unpack here. But
Really?
this one thing I thought was the most like thing where I was like, oh, Joan Crawford she's got a screw loose at least.
Yeah.
And it was, so she adopted her daughter Christina, married actor Philip Terry in 1942, and they adopted a son who they named Christopher. And Christopher is the younger brother in the movie, so I was like, okay, son named Christopher. The birth mom reclaimed Christopher. So they adopted the second child Joan Crawford adopted was taken back by the birth mother, which is terrible. That's a horrible thing to go through. But the couple then adopted another boy who they named Philip Terry Jr. after the father. And once they divorced, Joan Crawford changed the name of that child to Christopher.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So like that is crazy.
That's a lot.
Damn.
There are so many layers. And so yeah, so their marriage ended in 1946. She changes the name of the child to Christopher. And so she has Christina, Christopher, and then in 1947, Joan Crawford adopted two more children, two daughters.
Yeah, that's not even in the movie.
Yeah, named Cindy and Kathy. The children were adopted, and once the book came out that Christina wrote, the two youngest daughters were against her, being like, hey, that's all bullshit, blah blah blah. But it is true that Christina and Christopher were completely cut out of Joan Crawford's will. Like there was a huge.
So I'm glad you brought that up because I also read that supposedly, according to Christina, like they had kind of like made up, but before she died, and it was only when that she found out that she wasn't going to get anything in her will that she kind of decided. I think she was kind of pissed, and she was like, "Oh fuck this! I'm gonna like write this tell-all
and make each other money."
Yes, but I was kind of talking about this, like, but like she was kind of it's established that she's like Joan Crawford's pretty broke at the end of the movie. So like, what is there to like get? What is this estate?
Yeah,
what is it worth?
Throughout the movie, like she
doesn't even have a fucking bed frame.
Yeah, but what actually happened though, once Joan Crawford died and they contested her will, her and Christopher contested the will because they were both cut out of it, and they were like, well, this is fucking bullshit. And they both ended up getting $50,000, which this was the 60s.
I would love $50,000 right now.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a lot of money. They both ended up getting $50,000 from her estate. But I thought that was so crazy that she had adopted two more kids, who I guess were treated well enough to be left in the will.
Yeah, or they just.
But it's so crazy that her and her husband adopted a child together, named him Philip Terry Jr., and then when they divorced, she was like, "Fuck you." His name's Christopher Crawford. After the son that the mother took back. Yeah. Like that shows a whole level of fucking pettiness. For and sure. Like, yeah, really. I read that and I was like, oh shit, this bitch is crazy.
I mean, they do like through the movie, they kind of make it a point to show that she is losing money.
Yeah.
But also I wonder if it's like a relative amount of money to where it's like she's not broke, she's just not fabulously rich anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm sure she had a little bit. I mean, it probably enough that we would all like.
Yeah,
we'd all be happy with.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a huge movie star, and she was like the widow of Pepsi King.
Well, supposedly, like, he was kind of broke.
Oh,
They were living so lavishly.
Oh, that's right.
She spent all this money.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she only made, for one, I did some research today. Like, supposedly, like, her star was like dwindling, her star power, and she wasn't in love with him. Apparently, she only married him out of financial like convenience. And then she like kind of realized like he wasn't really doing that great.
He died. He conveniently died of a heart attack at 58 years old. So
she killed him.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Wow.
She beat him.
She raised his blood pressure with rare steaks.
Yes.
Faye Dunaway was seemed like she was like kind of a egotistical maniac. She was like method acting before
method acting.
Before Jared Leto made it cool. But like everybody on the set fucking hated her. She almost backed out of the movie because she wanted her fucking boyfriend at the time to be a producer. And then the studio was like, they caved and they let her boyfriend be a producer.
Holy shit.
For the fucking movie. Did this guy have any like credentials to be a producer? No, he was like a photographer.
What do you need? I thought you just need money.
So
to be
a producer is like kind of a middleman. So they basically so she would have someone like in her corner. Yeah, that's all a producer really is. And also her contract demand. She thought she was going to win an Academy Award for this, like as I said previously. And her contract demanded that they would like put in ads, like you know, like kind of like touting her, like best actress in a leading role, like you know how like Oscars do, like they like kind of campaign. So that was like part of her like contract. It seems like Faye Dunaway, like she kind of got a bad rep for this movie, but I think she was also kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
Also, I thought this was cool, and I actually would have preferred this actress in the role. Anne Bancroft was up for the role, and if you don't know who she is, she played Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate.
Oh.
I actually think I like that better.
Maybe
she's a bitch in that movie. I think she dials it back, and I think it's a little bit more subtle. I like Anne Bancroft better.
Nope, I think this was perfect for this part. I think Faye Dunaway was like perfect playing Joan Crawford because I think Joan Crawford was batshit crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can't know what Mrs. Robinson would have done with the role, but having seen Faye Dunaway,
I don't think it would have been as crazy.
I was just saying.
To be fair, like we've established, like I don't think she's as bad as people say she is, but there are scenes where she like dials it up. I think some of those big moments, I think she would have been a little bit more like kind of dialed back.
I also think part of that is, or not part of that, most of that is on the director for not saying, "Hey, too much."
Well, like, and also like Faye Dunaway has stated like she thought the director like wasn't equipped to like he wasn't like experienced enough to be like, "Hey, dial it back."
Yeah.
So.
Because, like, sure, her job as the actress is to just give the performance, and then the director is supposed to, like, conduct her from there. So she's just using her best judgment. The director is the one who's supposed to step in and say, hey, I think you went a little too big on that. Let's do another take. Try to, like, do a 7 if that's a 10.
I don't know. I don't think
Molly loves Molly. This is Molly's.
I'd aim for us.
I would. I'd be like, more, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like cover the coat in her blood.
Also, I think you guys, I think you'll appreciate this. Like you know, like The Room.
Yeah.
The screenings of The Room, they bring spoons.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly, like you know, the movie came out, it was getting bad reviews, and it was like kind of they changed the marketing to kind of like as a comedy, like in retrospect. And people were bringing like it kind of became
coat
sort of like people were bringing coat hangers,
like a Rocky Horror situation.
Yes, it became kind of like a midnight movie, and that's the thing. I just don't see it with this movie. No, that's the thing. I don't see it.
I don't. Yeah.
I don't
like as over the top. As there's moments. Yes, there's moments that she does go over the top, but I don't. I cannot say this is a good bad movie. I cannot say it's like a camp classic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think for me, the performance was more like, it's like when you're recording audio and you have like those moments where like it spikes into the red, but it's not bad. It's just like, yeah, you clipped it, but then it evened out.
It's like Al Pacino in Heat. Like, he's pretty normal for most of that movie, but then there's like that one scene where he's like, she's got a great ass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Bad analogy. or maybe you prefer there will be blood.
I wouldn't. I still wouldn't
like that.
Like that. That's the way it is.
I still wouldn't change her performance though. Like I think the way she did it was fine. I think there are moments where like it does go very big.
Some unintentional comedy, but not enough to. I cannot say this is like a good like. It's not like Room level or like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's not as. It does not deserve the reputation it gets.
I was gonna say,
in my opinion,
I've seen people overact much harder. Like, I think her performance was fine. I don't really get the like. I don't get the criticism of like saying her whole performance was bad. I thought she did a great job in the movie. I can't think of a better person to cast.
I like Anne Bancroft, but I get where she's not bad in this. I mean, like, you know, I'm not gonna fight you too hard on it.
Okay. Then don't, bitch.
Fight me.
Fight me, motherfucker.
I have a so for this episode, I have a new category. I'm excited. The dumbest fucking piece of IMDb trivia. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
So a little listen. I go on IMDb trivia when I'm looking up information on my episodes. Okay.
Okay.
And every
don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted. No. And
okay.
And every once in a while, like I'll be scrolling and I see like just a dumb fucking like who wrote this? Because honestly, anybody can go on IMDb and like write. You know what I mean? Like, so this is like my what the fuck IMDb trivia. To prepare for the role as screen legend Joan Crawford, actress Faye Dunaway watched her movies, researched her life, and read many books and biographies on and about the actress and the period on her career. No shit.
She researched the role.
So she researched the role, like stuff like that. Like they didn't have like an editor and like
delete that. I think
okay, like why is that a piece of trivia?
It's like, oh yeah, she's playing a real person in a movie.
To make
she didn't just wing it.
To make money.
It'd be funny if she was like, who? All right, I'll be here.
To make money, Molly drove to work and clocked in.
And did the job.
Okay. We're in the nitty gritty, guys.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna do categories. Okay, in your opinion, what's the best scene of the movie? Ed.
Oh, the best scene of the movie. You said you have quotes as a separate category.
That's coming up. That's a different category.
Right,
yes. But you had a great quote.
The best scene of the movie.
Sidebar.
I think the best scene of the movie is.
Are there any more guapos?
No.
Okay, give me a Millie. Sorry, listeners. This is my beer order.
Let's do it together.
Okay, hold on.
Double tap.
We'll give Ed time to think.
I cannot think of my favorite scene in the movie.
That's great.
Yeah, we're married.
There's beer on the mic.
Yeah, a little bit. A little splashy splash.
It's honestly, this is my microphone, so that's not the first beer to ever get on this mic.
Okay.
We did a whole year of how embarrassing is virtual. There's a lot of beer on this mic.
Yeah, a lot of hair.
Yeah.
Can't speak.
Anywho, fave scene.
I think the best scene in the movie. I won't use the one that my quote is from because I want to bring that up later. But I do think that might be the best scene in the movie. But I think second best for me,
your best scene,
was probably when adult Christina is like back home for the first time and she's finally like standing up to her mom. I really like that.
That's a good
When
scene.
Where she gets choked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Right
she
there.
says, "Why did you adopt me?"
Yeah, I really liked that. I think that was very intense. Like, there was a lot
Yeah, and
of
she
emotion
stood
in
her
it.
ground.
Yeah, it was finally like just like the breaking of the dam of just like years of abuse, and finally she's like, "Fuck you, Mom.
Yeah.
You know why you adopted me."
Jeffrey.
Geez, I don't know. There's so many scenes to pick from.
That there are.
I don't know. Right now, I keep thinking of the scene of her like birthday party when she was like 5.
With the clown monkey? The clown monkey?
Yeah, God. I forgot. Yeah, there's a monkey in full clown makeup. But yeah, the whole scene of it going from like very happy and like she loves her kids and she did so much for them, and then you start to realize like, oh, there's cameras there, like, and reporters who are like constantly there, and it's a whole big show and stuff, and she gets that stain on her dress, and you can just, it's like the first glimpse in the movie into like, whoa, this lady's gonna like beat the shit out of her kid because there's a little stain on her pretty dress on her birthday.
Now that is a good scene because she's like, she has that moment where she almost snaps and then she's like, no, it's fine.
Yeah, she like, you can tell she wants to snap, but then she sees, oh, reporters and cameras.
Yeah.
Money.
I mean, I'm gonna say the obvious one.
Okay.
The no wire hangers scene.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it is crazy. And it's not even the part with the wire hangers where she's hitting her with the wire hangers. It's once they go into the bathroom.
The bathroom is the crazy
and
part.
she like is like, you call this clean? And she's like wiping stuff off the counter that isn't there and just like sprinkling the fucking Comet all over the floor and like being like, scrub, we're gonna scrub it together. And she like is so manic that she's screaming the whole time, and the little girl's just going, I'm confused, like I don't know what you're talking about. And she like she's like beating her with the fucking
when she starts beating her with the
bottle.
Comet, oh my God.
And then she just like leaves and is like, clean this up, figure it out. I thought that, I mean, that was the most like, that was the scene that left me speechless. Like it really, truly, I was like,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
It is very like, that is a scene I would definitely describe as chilling. Like that last moment where she's like on the ground, she's covering Comet, and she's like, how am I supposed to clean this up? And she's just like, figure it out.
Well, and the mom, so Faye Dunaway, and this once again, I give props to Faye Dunaway for the acting, because she, at one point, she's so fucking manic, and she turns around and her eyes are like cross-eyed. Like she does not look like she's in her body at all.
She's going for it.
She's
going for it.
It was powerful.
Yeah. Going for the
it packed a punch.
That Oscar was on a little fishing rod. She was going for it. She was nibbling.
It really packed a punch in that scene where she's like, "Clea, we're gonna scrub it together," and she like is beating her, and then she like just fucking like collapses in tears and is like, clean this up. Like it was fucking.
She went through stages.
That to me was the best scene.
A scene I actually really enjoyed was like when she goes to the head of the studio, and he's like cutting ties with her. I don't know, just like
because it was juxtaposed with the scene where they had dinner, and like he went with her and he's like, sit with us, I insist, and he's like kind of trying to schmooze her. And she's getting pissed off, being like, I'm not some fucking starlet who,
there's a
like,
lot going on there, a lot of
anyone.
layers. One, it shows you how like full of crap Hollywood is, but then also too, this is like kind of like the beginning of the end. It's kind of in a lot of ways like kind of the tipping point for her. And it's just like, I gotta say, like, well acted by both actors and some good dialogue. There's like a really good quote that I don't remember because I'm drunk now. But
I remember the quote.
Please tell me.
Wait, when they're
when she's in the office of the movie producer.
Oh no, it was
Fellas.
Oh God,
it was
that was with the Pepsi company.
Yeah, when she's talking to the guy, and it's something about like they're like it's something about being done. It's like
It's like it's gonna hurt for me, but it'll be good for you, or something. I don't know. Something.
Man,
It's just like a I don't know. It was just like a good dialogue.
It was a good bet.
Yeah.
It was like some good
Yeah.
There's a lot
dialogue
of really
and
good
some
dialogue
like
in this.
good acting. And I was like, I kind of like this. And honestly, like it's kind of how showbiz was back in the day. I don't know. I like that scene. What is the worst scene in your opinion? Like, was there a scene that you just like hated? And if you don't have one, that's fine.
Well, I don't think there was anything that I like outright hated.
That's kind of how I am. Like, there wasn't anything like the stuff that was like quote unquote bad was funny, so I didn't even hate it. You know what I mean?
I thought it was weird when they were swimming and then the camera like went to her like husband or boyfriend or whoever he was, just like to like turn around and stare at them swimming for a while and then watch them walk away. There was like no reason to cut to that.
Yeah, I think that was like a weird editing choice of just like it was already established that he was kind of like catching on and he was starting to be over it. That wasn't really necessary. I agree.
He didn't really do any like acting with his face during that though. He just stared at it for a while and then kind of did like a head shake and left. I don't know, but I like that swimming scene, so just that edit
That
I didn't care for.
Yeah, that was a weird choice to cut to him.
Yeah. Well, no, I wasn't really though. I think it was really kind of just to be like, oh, he knows this bitch is crazy. Like,
oh, I just thought of another scene that was one of my favorites, but not worse.
Continue.
Where she freaks out and she cuts her daughter's hair off.
Oh, that was
yeah.
crazy.
There's
that
like
was nuts.
I forgot about that.
and the whole shot starts with her like it's like showing the daughter sitting at this table that has these 3 mirrors and the camera's on like the back of her head, but you can see her face from 3 different angles in all 3 mirrors at the same time while she's like playing that she's a movie star accepting an award or something, just like playing like a 5-year-old.
We were kind of talking about
freaks
like
out.
we were kind of talking throughout. I think all of us like not bad camera work.
No,
Some of the
it was
shots
really
are
good.
like actually like kind of well thought out. I'm like, oh, okay, this
For
is
sure.
interesting.
Yeah, I did love that too because it was like you see her in the background of the main mirror, but when she comes in from like I think from the right side. It was cool. It was a cool little like misdirection thing.
Not bad directing. I
Filled
gotta
up
say.
the screen with stuff when it was like all
No
just
dead
focused.
space.
The guy knew how to work a camera.
I love every shot of that staircase. Like
Yeah.
every time they use a staircase.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's like they always sit it down like right at the almost like kind of like worm eye level with like looking up up the stairs, and it was a cool staircase.
Because it was like they do it in the beginning. Jeff pointed it out when she first adopts Christina. She lines up with the there's like a half round window.
Yes,
like, the
that
spice
makes her
coming
look
off of it.
godlike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is a scene later, I think it's when she's coming down with the stake. She comes down, the camera's at the same angle, but she doesn't stop right under it. She stops just a little off center of it. And I don't know if they did it on purpose, but I like that because I thought it made like it was like signifying that like
The fall
she's
from
falling
grace.
from-
like the crown's like kind of falling off.
Yeah.
Like it's starting to slide off. The facade's starting to melt away. And
Yeah.
I don't know if they meant to do it, but
That's cool.
if they did mean to do it, that was great.
Yeah.
Is there a scene you don't like in this movie, Jeff? If not, we can move on.
I didn't need the scenes with the nuns.
That's
yeah.
can we talk about that nun? That
Yeah.
nun did not blink and she looked weird and
She was
I
a nun.
like, what the fuck?
I
are we-
don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I thought there were just like slow parts of the movie that could have been cut.
They
but,
could-
like,
yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
didn't-
say like worst scene stuff, but like there's just stuff that it's like we could have trimmed this for
Yes.
time.
I didn't need her to get kicked out of school and then get pushed into another school.
And then kicked
Yeah.
out
Like,
of-
and then-
yeah.
Well, that's kind of important because I think it shows like just the kind of grasp her mom had on her life, and
I guess
Yeah.
it was like that was her mom's
and that
solution.
meant so much to her. Like she was kind of connecting with a boy, and it's something like any normal mom would be like, oh, it's innocent love, but for that was another weird thing too. Like why it seemed like her mom, Joan Crawford, kind of messed around with a lot of guys, but for her daughter, it was like no
She
way,
didn't want
no
her
good.
daughter to be anything.
You know
like
where
her.
to find the
Yeah.
the booze and the boy.
Yeah. She said with her fucking flask.
Yeah.
That was great. We'll get into unintentional comedic moments, but like, don't you dare boozing the boys.
Yeah, that is true, Jeff. Like she didn't want Christina to be like her.
Right.
So anything that she did.
I wanna be you.
Yeah.
I wanna be just like you.
But yeah, she like anything that Christina did that she could like see herself in, that definitely was like things that set her off.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we can move on. I don't think there's like a truly awful scene in this movie.
No.
Now
It could be trimmed, but yeah.
yeah. And this is your moment to shine. Best quote. You remembered it at the beginning. You I think you wrote it down. What's the best quote of the movie?
The best quote of the movie is when Joan is breaking up with her, or she has got like this big argument with the lawyer boyfriend.
The first
Who gets the
boyfriend.
kids first?
The OG
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah. Dirty lawyer.
Dirty lawyer boyfriend, who gets both of her adopted children in the movie. This is right after.
Yeah, that's a good one.
This is
a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, this is right after the thing at the Hollywood event where she meets the mayor.
Something like that.
Yeah, the mayor of the
Yeah.
studio. Yeah.
Is he a mayor or is his last name Mayor?
I think they just called them the mayor.
They call him Mr.
We
Mayor.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that part is not important, but that's
Yeah.
just what precedes it. But they're like
Right.
they get back and they are like arguing about what happened that night.
Because this was the scene where she like was forced to schmooze, and like
Yeah.
his opinion was like, you should have just said hi and gone to your own table, and like it was this whole huge fight.
Yeah. But this is when like the lawyer boyfriend guy really like kind of he pierces the veil and he like really sees her for who she is.
Yeah, and he basically actually, before you say your quote, because my favorite quote
It's like
was
a
right
minute,
before that, because she pours herself a drink, and he looks at her and he goes, "What number drink is this?" And she like gets pissed about that, and he goes, "It was cute when you were younger, but
No, when you were a kid.
yeah, it was cute when you were a kid, but now it's just sad or something like
No.
or no." Yeah, you say it.
It made you look sexy when you were a kid, but now it just makes you look drunk.
Yeah. It made you look sexy when you were a kid, and now it just makes you look like a drunk.
That actor was good, and he got
Yeah.
nominated for a Razzie. What the
He
fuck?
was
He
great.
won the Razzie.
Was he good?
I thought he
I don't know, like I don't know.
Whatever,
I don't know.
yeah.
He had like
Fuck
two of
the
the he had
Razzies.
two of the
wasn't
best
bad,
lines of the
but-
movie.
Yeah.
But it made you look sexy when you were a kid. Now it just makes you look like a drunk.
Yeah.
And that is such a fucking mean thing to say. Like, that is so mean to someone who is obviously self-conscious about her age, self-conscious about her whole career.
But she fires back so hard.
Yeah, so for me, that was the best quote. But Ed, take it away. Now
Oh
you're
my god! Ed still has it. I told you she interrupts. Oh my god!
This happens, as Molly said, right after that. Like, he's just like, I'm done. I've had enough. He's about to leave, and Joan like breaks down. She goes into like full actress mode, and she's like, "Please don't leave me here." Well, first she tries to seduce him, and that doesn't work. And then she goes into full like breakdown actress mode. She's like, "Please don't leave me here alone." And he's standing at the door, and he looks back at her, and he goes, "If you're acting, you're wasting your time. And if you're not acting, you're wasting mine."
Fucking badass.
Such a good
liked
line.
It was
God
fucking. The way he said it was
damn.
fucking cool too.
It was like, I hope to God I ever get to deliver anything
I did too.
Right.
Hey,
close to that.
and I hope when you.
I feel like the
deliver
second
that-
he closed the door, he was like, "Hell yeah!"
He was like, "Oh, fuck,
Right.
where did that come
Yeah.
from? What the fuck?" He's like, "High five, Christina."
Yeah.
the lady's gonna be like, "Where's that from?" "Mommie Dearest, 1981."
Yeah.
He's just like, "High fives, Christina." Fucking got her ass.
If you ever say that, just please text us.
Yeah. Oh man, it was such a like. Oh, it just like it really.
It's cutting.
It's
almost so good.
I wish that line came later in the movie.
Yeah.
Because
that's the thing. That's another thing about the movie. Like the second half was a dud.
You thought the second half was a dud?
The first hour and a half fucking rules.
Yeah.
The last 40 minutes, it's like, okay.
Yeah. Pretty much like once Christina goes to the convent.
Yes.
Like that is the downslope of
right.
I kind of agree because the first half is like,
but she does push her over a table and choke her out on the floor.
But I think that happens.
That's right before the convent.
That's when it picks up.
Yeah.
That's when it picks
up. She
up.
comes back from boarding school.
Yeah.
And then she's getting like interviewed.
That's right.
And then she chokes her out, and she's like, "Fuck you! You're going to nun school."
Yeah.
I wish they actually said nun school.
Okay. I mean, I really like the two other quotes, and those were both in the same scene, so that probably was one of the best scenes of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the quote when she is pulling her daughter out of boarding school because she kissed a boy there.
Yeah.
And she wasn't getting kicked out, but she was pulling her out because the school lets them like get away with kisses. But the lady goes, like, I think you're overreacting. And she just goes, I think you're underreacting. So that was funny. It's like the complete opposite of the line you gave it. Where that's just like a great line and it fucking means so much. This is just like, sure, yeah, quick.
I do love when that girl finds Christina making out with through a dirty sock in her face. But she comes in and she sees them making out. She's like, I'm telling.
I'm gonna tell.
It's very like little kid.
They're like 16, 17
yeah.
years old at that point. It's like, I'm gonna tell.
Okay, my favorite quote, and I may not have it exact, but it's at the party where why are adopted kids so special? Why? Because they're chosen. I was like, that's fucked up and weird.
She said she tells Christina like, what do I say? And she's like, adopted kids are something. It's like
are so special because they're chosen.
Yeah, they're chosen.
Which is just fucked up. It's all.
Yeah. You didn't really choose them either. Your dirtbag lawyer like went out and kidnapped a kid or something. How did she get the kids?
Yeah,
he just money threw money. I mean, these stars they throw money at the problem.
Well, that's what she said in the beginning. Like he was like, no adoption agency's ever gonna give you a kid, and she's like, how do you know? He's like, I'm a lawyer. And she goes, well, bend the law.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny. She's in the office with like the adoptive agency, and like you can't have a kid. And the next scene, baby in hands. Like some of the transitions in this, like some of the passages of time were like kind of off.
It's like they really
get smash cut. Yeah. It is almost comedic timing of this. Like
that's what I was saying. Like some of the like editing choices and the transitions were like a little goofy, a little funny.
Because I think there was one.
It was 81.
Yeah. There was one point where I pointed out, I was like, this would be a great, like, Always Sunny title card insert.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't remember what had just happened. But
wait, that's like, Curb Your
Yes.
Enthusiasm. Wait, how's the Sunny? Wait, I think it'd be better with the Curb. I think it'd be better with the Curb. No, I think Curb would be better.
That's when she turns and when she looks like Jim Carrey. That's when you play the Curb. He's like, dun, dun, dun,
what? So what did she say to her before she did that? Like
she just says that's when she asked.
That's when she said,
her.
"Why did you adjust?" So wait, is this the next category?
No, but we're about to go. Okay, why did you adopt me?
When she turns,
I'm saying because that's my unintentional comedic moment.
Okay, yeah, so we're at that category.
Category.
This is the best category for this movie. What is the It seems like
so
you're onto something.
Unintentional comedic moment. Me and Ed both called this out. I think Jeff and Barrett both missed it the first time, caught it the second time. It's when she comes home from boarding school and she's fucking pissed. It's right before the choke out. And she goes, why did you adopt me? And Joan Crawford turns around and is like, what but she looks like Jim Carrey and Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Like she
turns around, like-
she turns around with her shoulders cocked and like her arms in like the Ace Ventura way where she's like, oh,
Yeah.
like it truly looked like an Ace Ventura moment, and it was fucking hilarious. Even though it is it's part of one of the most intense scenes of the movie, but it was fucking hilarious.
She literally, like, fucking tackles her through a glass end table.
Yes.
That was so wild.
Yes.
It's awesome.
So both of you. Have the
For
same
me,
one.
that was the most.
Is that yours as well?
That was so funny.
I think mine is I think they meant it to be funny, but I don't know if they meant it to be as funny as it was. But just like seeing that fucking monkey and
somebody like took 2 hours out of their day to paint that monkey's
Like
face.
lipstick, like
yeah,
No
flowers
face,
are long, like
yes.
around
not
his
even
eyes.
like full lipstick. They did like the little like the mid lip little like
Yes.
flower petal design.
And they had
Yeah.
like the little like cross on his head and like the eyeshadow. Like someone did detailed makeup on that monkey.
It's insane.
Yes.
For it to be like just something that like the camera goes past
Yeah.
in 1 second.
They
Like,
think that monkey is not important, has no bearing on the plot. If you just had a normal non-makeup monkey, would have been fine.
The
Would've made
monkey
sense.
did not.
No
The monkey
monkey.
did not have to have makeup. There didn't have to be a monkey.
There really didn't even need to be a monkey.
Yeah.
Was that the only animal at the party?
I think.
Yeah.
I think they
Yeah.
might have had like some horses, maybe. I might be making that up.
How long do monkeys
No,
live?
that's
Is that
the
monkey
carousel
still?
I'm
Is that
thinking
monkey
about.
still alive? You
Nah,
think?
there's no way.
I don't know how long monkeys live.
Maybe we can get him on the pod.
Maybe.
But we'll do a follow up if we can get in touch with the monkey.
I think one of the funniest moments for me was going back to the scene where all the good lines were from. Like her first husband, dirty lawyer. Like,
Were they even married? I think they were just fucking.
Yo, that's the weird part. Yeah, she tells him that's her uncle. She tells Christina.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Like,
so weird. Uncle. He's like, don't call me uncle.
yeah, so I guess fuck
I'm
buddy.
not your dad either.
I don't know. The dirty lawyer, when they're in the fight, he like grabs her by the shoulders and starts like shaking her. Like, and at one part he delivers his line and goes back into a shake, but like I think he was trying to look like he was so angry, like, but his face just does some weird fucking stuff, and then he just like
Yes.
bounces around while like shaking her.
I
It's
forgot about that.
so fucking funny.
Okay, I got one. Okay, so little setup. Okay, so she's like got this new guy, I guess, that she's like fucking. And also, we commented on this. It's also funny that like she's an expert. Well, not really an expert. She kind of pours the drinks like a little too.
Oh yeah, she's a tiny little bartender.
She's
heavy
like she
pours.
makes drinks, but they're like heavy pours. But she's like fixing her mom a drink, and she's about to like fuck this dude. I don't even know who he is. Is he like just a sleazy movie producer?
I think
or-
he's like her new lawyer guy.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
New dirty lawyer.
Yeah.
But like, so he walks in on them about to fuck, and then it's like hard cut them to like driving to boarding school.
Yeah.
And like she's like she introduces her to the new teacher, like, oh, once you get acquainted, it will be okay. She's crying like, no, it won't. I think that's my unitentional comedy moment. God, there's so many though. Chopping the tree like at midnight. That was fucking ridiculous.
That was a scene. I don't think I understood why she was doing it, so I did laugh a little bit. But it is a very intense scene. Like she's like, the nanny's like waking the kids up, and she's making them come downstairs. No, I know what it was. It was when she says, "Get me the axe."
Yeah.
Wasn't there a scene too?
That's intense though. I think she was like, I mean, she was obviously having like a psychological break.
Yeah.
But I think it was just like because they were like beautiful things that kind of like represented youth and beauty, and she just got like fired from her agency. I think that's the connection I had.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, because like that is kind of like I don't even know if I would call it a subplot because it comes up so much, like her age and how she is like kind of aging out of the
aging
industry.
out, yeah, and her daughter's young, and it's the jealousy.
Yeah. Man, that's a good point too.
Yeah.
I didn't think about. It's like,
It's the jealousy of her daughter, and
she sees herself in her daughter, but her daughter is also has like the youth that she doesn't have. So that's like another reason to dislike her.
So she
I didn't
steals
think
the
about that.
fucking
That's a
shit.
good point.
I can't believe we did talk about.
the
fucking
daughter
how-
gets a fucking tumor.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she-
Okay, yes. Let's address this now. Holy fuck.
The daughter she wants to be an actress. Her mom won't help her out at all. And so
Not once.
she finally gets a fucking gig where she's like,
I like the Pepsi.
on a soap opera,
yeah, soap
I like
opera.
the Pepsi husband.
Yeah.
He was cool.
Don't
Yeah.
tell anybody. He's just such a schlub. He just, you know. I
But
like
yeah,
it.
she gets a gig on a soap opera, and then she ends up getting this like tumor where she has to go in the hospital for a little while, and her mom fucking stabs her in the back and somehow contacts like
Takes
the
her
producer
role.
to take her role and now be
As bad as soap operas
a 29-year-old.
Because my mom watched soap operas. Like, I'm very well familiar with General Hospital in the 2000s. Like, that shit would not even fly then. Like, as low brow as that show is, like, that is crazy that they did that.
I honestly think like
I want to see the footage of that.
I do.
Didn't you look it up? Like, that did happen.
It really did happen.
Yeah.
I think Ed looked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah,
And she can't even read the. That's a crazy.
She's too
scene.
drunk, so-
Yeah.
Read the,
Well, I don't think she's too drunk. I just don't think she can see.
I think she was just old and couldn't.
Yeah.
Because she was complaining about the cue cards not being high enough, but it was like, you're not cut out for this type of thing. But yeah, that was insane.
I didn't know that they recorded soap operas like live back then.
I didn't know that either. I guess that kind of makes sense. Because they do. Well, no, I guess I kind of thought it was like a.
I just thought it was
I didn't
they
think live
recorded.
TV was a
Yeah,
thing at
I
this
didn't think
point.
that. Yeah, I did not think live TV was like really a thing back then.
Who knows?
I think I thought it was like a live studio audience.
Who knows? Not me.
Any other like unintentional moments before we move on?
No.
Okay, so this is where it gets tricky. Best performance, worst performance. Would you? I mean, Faye Dunaway, best. I don't know.
I'm giving Faye Dunaway best.
Same.
Yeah. And then I'm giving
Christopher worst.
Yeah, fuck
He
Christopher.
didn't do anything.
He didn't do shit.
Christopher sucks.
To go back
Just
to
gets buckled into bed.
to go
every
back to
night.
the most unintentional comedic moment. I think there's a scene where like Joan Crawford's like figure it out how to like after she beats her and like clean this mess up. She's like, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. And doesn't he say something like good luck or something like
I
He's
thought
like,
he
"Good
said
luck."
that too. He said, "I'll help you."
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, he
I
said,
thought he
"I'll
said
help
like
you."
good luck. I'm like, that's fucking funny. Okay.
Because at first I thought he said something like derisive, and then she was like, she was like, just go back and buckle yourself in. I was like, oh, he offered to help her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's
Okay.
like, no, go
I think,
back to
yeah.
bed because like it'll be worse if she figures out you're here.
Oh, did we talk about that? He gets strapped in.
No.
Yeah, he gets buckled.
She doesn't want Joan Crawford does not want her son to like get up and pee in the middle of the night
Man,
because I guess it will cause too much
I
noise.
would lose my mind.
Did we talk about the bandages
I
she
could not.
wears?
Yeah, how can you sleep like that?
Holy
Man,
shit!
I would
She
be
wears
up all
bandages
Yeah.
at night
Yeah.
and gloves when she sleeps.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shit.
So fucking
Her sleep
bizarre.
gloves
There
and
are just so many things.
I
But
just- I
yeah,
wanna know
Faye
what
Dunaway
Stevie does it
best,
for.
Christopher worst.
I would agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Say what you want about Faye Dunaway, and many people have. I mean, the most memorable part of the movie.
Hell yeah.
I don't know though. Her first fuck toy, he had some good lines. He had kind of a swag about him.
I did.
I would give him like.
I don't think he was
second.
that great though. He didn't do much of like dynamics. He was just saying his lines, and he was
Yeah.
attractive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked him for the role that he was in, but I definitely wouldn't give him best performance. in the movie.
Yeah, worst performance. I'll go with Christopher. Like Jesus, like
It's like you didn't even need to be
do
there.
less. Okay. Anything else before we move on to final thoughts and ranking, or rating rather? Anything else to add? Any like fucking weird things to just like throw out?
I think so.
I think we kind of
Yeah.
covered this
Yeah.
movie. And I think, what'd you say? Like, what would be your rating? forgot what you said.
I said like maybe a 3.5, but honestly, in talking about this movie, I feel like I enjoyed it a lot. And I might even give it a 4
out of 5.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy shit. Okay.
I like this movie.
So Letterboxd, we're friends on Letterboxd. So
you'll see me when
I'm gonna see a 4. Okay.
We'll see that.
All right.
I know you get on Letterboxd.
Dude, Jeff, you would love this.
I downloaded the app.
Please. Oh my god, I would love to see his
Fucking
reviews.
2 months ago.
Jeff's reviews would be like, this movie's fucking so stupid.
Not
This is
punk
dumb.
enough.
Not punk enough. Not gay enough.
There's no kick flips. 0 out of 5 stars.
No kick flips. I want to do that. Felt like.
Jeff. Will be your final thoughts and ranking.
I don't know. I did really enjoy the movie. I enjoy the era and fashion that everyone's in. The cinematography was great. The acting was fun. She was awesome and good and not too over the top.
Okay.
But yeah, I want a little bit more of a plot, and I'd like it to be a little shorter.
I would agree with that.
But so I don't know. I'd say 3.5.
That's pretty. These are good ratings.
3.5
Wow.
sleeping gloves.
Oh, okay. I like that. Okay, sleeping gloves. Okay, so
I'm also currently looking up
4
sleeping
sleeping gloves from you, 3.5
Right?
for
I
you.
wanna
Molly,
fill them with lotion.
what would you rate this?
I really enjoyed watching the movie. Like Jeff, I do think it was too long, but like I said at the beginning of this pod, it's a perfect coast through your hangover movie. And I think it's great that the second half sucks because you can fall asleep during it.
The second half sucks.
And so, well, just let me live. I am gonna give this movie a 4.008.
Can't do that with stars.
I mean, hey, you can do whatever you want.
Yes, I can.
I allow my guests to do whatever they want.
Or I guess 3.08. We'll make it the legal limit. 3.08.
Oh, it went from 4 to.
I
You
don't
just dropped
think-
a whole scale.
That's what I meant. I meant 4.
I was gonna say I don't think
4.088.
is the legal
I think
limit.
you're gonna die.
I'm giving it a 4.
I think you have alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think you're dead
whatever.
by that point.
Honestly, this movie gets a 4.08, and I won't ever change my mind.
Holy mackerel. Okay.
Not 1 point.
Don't let us down, Barrett.
Not 1 decimal.
Honestly, like, okay, so
Not 1 point.
going in, like, this movie had this reputation of, like, when we talk about the Razzies, how to be clear, Razzies are fucking, they're like the Oscars. They don't mean shit.
Who's in charge of the Razzies?
I don't really.
Fuck the Razzies. It's so terrible.
I don't even really know, to be honest with you. But yeah, I don't know. I was a little bit let down because of the reputation it had. It had this reputation of it's like so good it's bad. Faye Dunaway is just like over the top. But I gotta say, like, I don't know, like there were moments, and we kind of disagreed. I do think there are moments where I do think she is over the top, for sure. But I don't think this movie's like bad, and I don't think her performance is that bad. This movie like was not a bad movie.
No,
I don't think it. I just do not think it deserves like the reputation it got.
With a bad reputation.
Yeah. Taylor Swift, big reputation. Big reputation.
That's a Taylor Swift song. That sounds awful. Big reputation. Is it a cheer?
It's
For fucking-
oh my god.
Can we just get to the fucking rating?
I would give it 3 out of 5. I think it's a decent movie. It's No There Will Be Blood. It's good. No, honestly, it's a decent movie. I didn't like love it. Like, I don't know, not like totally rewatchable, but like, there's some good scenes and like some good performances. I don't think she deserves the hate she got when it came out. Honestly, I was like, I don't know. I was disappointed going in, but like going out, I'm like, not that bad of a movie. So,
all right.
Do you guys want to plug anything before we go? I have 10 subscribers. I'm in double digits now. I did look the other day. I was like, wow.
We're gonna plug as usual the How Embarrassing podcast. Ed and Barrett have both been on many times and will probably be on many times after this. So.
Also, check out Mommie Dearest, the musical, which we will all start writing as soon as this ends.
Yeah, by the time this episode airs, it'll be on Broadway.
Yeah.
So.
Watch out, Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah.
May 6th at 10 p.m. At the Push Comedy Theater, the Dumpster Dudes are back.
Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah, they are.
I need to get the other one on.
And also the other one.
I got you. I got Brett. I need to get Dustin on
the other one.
Episode.
Also May 7th at 10 p.m. The URC Ultimate Roasting Championship is back.
Oh, Casey Kennedy hosting for the pod.
Who you roasting?
Dustin.
Oh,
Nice.
No.
Nice.
We roast each other all the time anyway, so it'd just be like a normal day.
All right. I leave you with you fucker. What'd she say?
What?
What's the end? What did she say?
Don't fuck with me.
Oh yeah. Don't fuck with me, you fucker.
Fellas.
Oh, fellas.
Don't fuck with
Don't
me,
fuck with me,
Don't
fellas.
fuck with me, fuckers.
Don't fuck with me, fellas.
Don't fuck with me, fucker.
Fellas.
Oh, fellas.